G'day guys, what's cracking? It's Ralph here, and today I have for you Apexel's HB100 Ultra in a case. Look how good this case is. Comes in this little case, and you open up the case with a bit of a zip, and there's two components. There's the lens and the clip. Now let's talk about the clip. First of all, the clip clips on your phone. You have to unscrew and then pull this back, and then you can stick it on your phone. All right, we're not going to go through that. This bit changes, and this bit changes, and then you can lock it in. And it's got a little bit of a foot that holds it steady against the back of your phone, holds it steady as well as steady. And then you can mount a little light on here to put extra light on your subject. And the idea with this prime lens that has a 1.05 aperture is you should be able to get better quality photos with this on your phone when you're shooting up close. Now, it is called a macro lens. But macro, not in the traditional sense of really getting up close, but macro in terms of you can get close. So we're talking between 55 and 100 mil from your subject. You can get up close and personal. And I'm just going to have to show you, but hang on, we'll get there in a jiffy. First of all, you want to take your phone cover off. Works much better. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and in this case you mount it to this lens. But here's a variety of other scenarios, and you want to choose this lens that's the best for whatever phone you have, right? So just take a screen grab of that and we'll move on. There's also that information in the instruction box. So we take off the rear lens cap, we simply screw the lens into place nice and tight. Has this beautiful lens cap over the glass, which is good because there's a fair bit of glass. It looks pretty good. And this is one of those pinches ones. So we pinch it in, we get it out, and then what you do is just line it up with this lens. And you do that. I've found the best way to do that is actually to fiddle around with it, but you want to look through the lens at your camera lens. And you can do that. You put a bit of light on it, and you can make sure it's all bang on and lined up. Now, we're not quite there yet. The next stage is the generic camera app on your phone gives you miserable and frustrating results with this. So I need to say that up front because I tried, and what happens is because of the nature of the clip-on, it flicks, it switches between different lenses, because if a lens is blocked, an iPhone would automatically switch to another one. So even if you turn macro off, you still might struggle. You can use it, but I would suggest using the Pro Cam app. Now, you can get a free number of shots on that. It might be even a free number of shots per day. You can let us know in the comments down below. Or you can just pay $10 and you can get that app forever. And it's a really good app because you can have complete control over your white balance, over your focus, over your aperture, over your shutter speed, and over your ISO. Not ISO. Tell me down below if that upsets you. ISO or ISO? Because I say ISO all the time and somebody's like, it's ISO. I'm like, all right, ISO it is. Moving on. When you have the lens mounted on your phone, you will notice a weight discrepancy. It is quite heavy, and you don't want to knock it either, because if you knock it, you will encumber the vision on the other side of the phone. For example, you will have a pink glare if it's not bang on central, and if it's really not on central, you'll get a black curve. So the best way to do that is just maneuver this, and when it's all good, then you lock it down. And you lock it down with this, just screw it into place, and it will hold because it grips to the front of your phone as it positions itself over the lens. And I reckon all my lenses on my iPhone can easily have this positioned over it. Now what I thought I'd do is just talk you through 3 shots I took. I took 3 photos of this, really up close. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a photo on this, the lens, the HB100 Ultra from Apexel. And then I wanted to take it off, and I wanted to take a photo as good as I could on this, getting it as close as possible. And you will see the benefits of this lens as opposed to just this phone when we look at the photos, which we're going to do right now. Every time you make a video, you have it real clear in your head, and then you go and do it, and it never, ever comes out as fluent as it is in your head. Like ever. I don't think it's ever happened. Sometimes I've been in such a role that I've been so amazed that I stuff up my lines because I'm like, wow, actually finally getting it right, and then I get it wrong. I'm going to go to my library and I'm going to pull up my first photo. So let me put it like this and show you on the screen. And it's just of a biscuit. But what I like about this is look at the bokeh on the top and the bottom. So on the ProCam app, you can actually focus in and determine where your focus point is, providing your lens is holding it in focus, right? So you have to be the right distance away. But this, I'm about 60 mil away from the biscuit. And then what I want to show you is I'm going to zoom in. Have a look at the detail as we get right in there. So look at that detail on that edge. Like it just looks, it's divine, right? You're like, oh, that even looks delicious. Might even have one. I actually ate this one. Okay. So then I thought, that's with the lens, right? That's with the AP100 Ultra. And I'm like, let's recreate the shot. This is the recreation of the shot, right? So I tried a number of different approaches. In the end, I just had to shoot it with the generic, normal 24 mil. Now we're going to zoom in on this. And you can see that it loses its quality as it gets up close. It starts to get a little bit like digitized, a bit messy, but it doesn't have that beautiful texture or light. If we zoom back to this one, it just does. That is a good photo. That is a rubbish iPhone photo. So you're starting to see the benefit of the lens. And I really tried to take a good photo of this biscuit. Moving on. This is a little medicine box the kids have for their vitamin C stuff. They just love that. And I shot this, and as you can see, the S, let's zoom in here. And look, you can see the paint speckles, you can see the detail, and then it really quite quickly fades away to a bokeh finish. So by the time it gets to F up here, you can hardly make out what that says. But as we go back, that is super in focus. You'll also notice that here is slightly blurred. This is more well lit, this part in the bottom right hand corner, but this is blurred, that's sharp, and then that's super blurred over the back. All right, let's see what I can do without the lens on the just the generic thing. And I wanted to shoot portrait mode, but you can't, because portrait you have to go so far back. And so even when you zoom in on these, you still have the problem of creating bokeh with these shots. So let's just have a look at this. The same composure. I reckon there's less detail. I reckon there's less detail in this shot, and it's not as vibrant. These are both raw. Both the photos you're looking at were both raw. And as we go up to Friday, you see the F, it's still quite clear, as is the mat or towel that it was resting on. And in the other photo it was completely blurred out, but this top left hand corner triangle is still quite a bit of texture and detail. So you would say that's quite a flat straightforward photo as opposed to this one. And then I got some vitamin D tablets, because a while ago I got shingles and the doctor said, do you take vitamins? And I said no, and he said you do now, and so I do now. Anyway, these are my vitamin D tablets, and I like this shot. So if we zoom in, look at the texture on the capsules here, and they're caught in the light, and it just looks good. And as you can see, there's a thin field of focus stripping through, which captures that large one and a couple of these, a little bit of the towel, but quickly you have a bokeh finish at the front and at the back. And that's the full shot. Now, I recomposed the shot and I tried a myriad of ways, and the closest I got was this shot. That if we zoom in, you see it's blowing out the light. This is catching the light and giving us a bit of a flare, or it's just making it really washed out. And then a lot of these are in focus. They're all in focus. The front one's not terribly in focus, but it's not like it's bokeh, right? Because that's still really rough and textured. And then the background fades to that. And then I tried with the generic phone, and I tried a variety of things. I tried zooming in, I tried focusing down, I tried setting a focus point that was really quite close. I tried portrait, but you have to stand back. I really tried to give it to it. I tried the macro option on and the macro option off. And this was the best photograph I got that came close. And if we zoom in, just most of these tablets or these capsules are in focus. Like, they're all in focus. And yeah, it's like you get a bit of bokeh here. So it does create a bit of bokeh, right? So we did get some in the end, but at the front, the field of focus captures the entirety of that subject of the shot, which I actually didn't want. I wanted this shot that I think looks really, really good. So what do you reckon about the HB100 Ultra from Apexel? Will it fulfill a need you have? The interesting irony of all the accessories that are coming out for mobile phones is your mobile phone is meant to be like it's right here, I pick it up and I'm good to go. And so if you have an accessory, it has to be good enough to warrant the need for the accessory. And if I wanted to take some really good quality shots of things that were close, so you're restricted, just remember with this, you're restricted to a focusing distance that's between, say, here and here, right? So it's really quite narrow. So this isn't for portrait photography. It's not for event photography because everything will be out of focus. But if you want to take great shots, if you've got a business and you're like, I want to take really quality shots of my product that I just don't have a lot of money for camera gear, then this is the one for you guys. And as you've seen, the photos that it comes out really quite impressive, and you can control all of your menu features on this app to complement this lens. And what's more, you can add a light. So if you need more light, you can just slot a light into this top jack, and then you can actually position the light wherever you need to bounce off. And you can actually have this on your camera, you can have your light here, and you can actually shine your light away and have a piece of paper or a white wall or something white that gently diffuses and blows the light back onto your subject. So you get side lighting or even front lighting, depending on where you put, or even rear lighting that isn't as harsh as the light you can get on here. And I'll put a link down below. There'll be a video at the end of this of one of the lights you can just get. They're pretty cheap and easy to get. You get a bicolor light. You can put a whole bunch of different colors on it, and you're away you go. What do you think? What do you think? Have you got a use for it? I'd love to know what you intend to use it for. I hope this video has been helpful, and otherwise I will see you after you like and subscribe in the next video. Thanks everybody. Bye. Oh gosh, Apple. Oh, you have to be too like clever. Just be like the good old Steve days when it's just made sense. Oh, woosah. Whew.